Welcome, 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 everyone. Hello, thank you for being here on A Mexican Crossing Lines with your hosts, Cindy Gomez-Schempp.
And Duke Gomez-Schempp.
You're listening to 88.1 FM, KPPPLP, Fargo Moorhead, where we are adding local color to your airwaves. You can also listen to all of our shows on our YouTube channel. You can go to kpppfm.com and check out all our past shows there. You can watch us on 88.1 Fargo Moorhead, The People's Press Project, and Mexican Online, where I know that my son Nemo is sharing these shows as we speak so that other people can watch them. If you don't get notifications, I know people tell me this almost every single show.
Yeah.
Go and like my Facebook page, my public page. Go and like and follow 88.1 Fargo FM Fargo Moorhead, The People's Press Project, Mexican Online, and my public page. And somewhere you'll get a notification.
Yeah.
Because Facebook hates me sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
It just happens. But you should be here for this show because tonight we're going to be talking about self-hating Mexicans. I don't know who Nicole Ramos is talking about, but that is what she called some people. She didn't say who. She said there are some self-hating Mexicans. So what this definition is, essentially, just so you get a sneak peek at the nonsense we're about to uncover tonight. If you follow the law of the country in which you live, be you a Mexican living in Mexico who loves Mexico and its people and follows its laws, you're a self-hating Mexican. If you're a Mexican American like me, who also wants to see things done right and the laws followed appropriately and people not exploited in the process, you're also a self-loathing, self-hating Mexican. Did you know that, Duke?
Nope.
I guess that's the definition now.
I'm not familiar with these determinations that she's making.
I'm going to read some tweets of hers to you so you can take and make your own decisions based on what you see. But I am going to uncover why she is making these statements. I can only surmise that they are made about either myself, Oscar El Blue Ramirez, that has confronted staff, workers of Al Otro Lado in Tijuana, whose fans and followers have confronted Nicole Ramos at the University of Baja California, where she recently spoke. Nicole Ramos posted about it. Very angry. We'll show you that post. I know that there have been critics, like the professor that I'm going to be presenting with in San Diego. Critics like Profesora Guadalupe Correa Cabrera, whose work is cited and referred to. She is considered an expert in the field in the topic of immigration, a professor, tenured professor from George Mason University. This woman smells BS and sees BS when she noticed what Nicole Ramos and Pueblos Sin Fronteras were doing. She called it human smuggling. She called it what it is. She started to expose this Al Otro Lado and their work, and Pueblos Sin Fronteras are doing wrong by immigrants. They're doing wrong by Mexicans. They're doing wrong by Americans. So she must be referring to somebody. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's even that important. We're going to get down to why she's calling the people around her who are following the law, who are patriots and love their countries, self-hating Mexicans. We're going to get to it tonight here on A Mexican Crossing Lines. But first, I want to send a special thank you to all of you who have been helping me work on finding the information for my trip, finding the information that I'm looking for on specific individuals. All of your hard work is a great solace and a help to me here at a Mexican Crossing Lines at KPPPLP. All of your comments, your questions, your emails, if I haven't responded to you, it is because I've been overwhelmed. We are getting ready to go to this conference, folks. It's right around the corner. The clock is ticking. Mm-hmm. We're going to be leaving here on the 23rd. Duke is coming with me. There is no way in hell I'm going to Mexico or going to San Diego by myself. Not under the conditions, not as far as I can see, especially with what I have seen happening down on the border per the reports of Oscar El Blue Ramirez, as I have seen is going on in Tijuana. Yes, I am taking my technician, my supporter, my best friend, my husband, Duke Gomez-Schempp, is coming with me. To those of you who have donated so that I can go and take this trip and also take an extra day, 2 days, go to Tijuana, investigate, and also bring you the news from what's happening there. I thank you. Please continue to support us. We're almost to our goal. Mm-hmm. Duke, how can people contact us? How can people support our upcoming trip?
Yes. So, I'd like to send out a thank you, too, to those of you who have been teaming up with us. I mean, it's incredible. We have a really good team, and you know who you are. You've sent in so much information. There's been a number of people who have been working on this day in and day out. So much information. Cindy's talked to so many people, and she has to go through the information. Nemo has been working on it. People out there have been contributing just to put the material together to present in San Diego. And I would like to thank the people who have donated. There's been some really, really generous people who have given us some funding that we can go to San Diego. I've raised some money myself, and I've took some of my personal money. We've taken some of our personal money, thrown it all in the pile, trying to get there. We almost need enough. We almost have enough, but we need, some gas money. We don't need much. We're not doing anything fancy. We've cut costs every place we can. It's expensive to go there, and we appreciate that people have been able to do that. So if you would still help us out, it's a tax-deductible donation. Go to kpppfm.com/donate. There's a little story at the top, a little post at the top. You can click on that. It gives you the links to make the PayPal payment to us. Also on the same donation page, we have a way if you want to send a check. Though it's just, I don't like asking for money so much, but this is such an important thing that we are going to accomplish because of your support, and we appreciate that. To keep on sending information to us. If you maybe haven't sent information to us, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. One, of course, is through Facebook, and Facebook is pretty generous at having attachments, and it doesn't seem like there's any limit to how much mail you can send on Facebook. So go to 88.1 FM Fargo-Moorhead. We also have the People's Press Project and Mexi-Can. You can do old-fashioned email, Cindy at kpppfm.com, or me, Duke at kpppfm.com, or Nemo at kpppfm.com, or Lizzie at kpppfm.com. Send any of us an email. You can also, if you want to give us a voice message, you can call our voice line. It's 701-566-0917. Again, that number is 701-566-0917. Now, Cindy also mentioned that we have a YouTube channel, and it's Duke1517. We've been uploading these videos from Facebook after the lives, and we put them on YouTube in a high definition, so people that don't have Facebook can watch them, and it gets spread to another audience. That channel is Duke1517, and when you're there, there's a little bell you can click. You'll get alerted when we upload videos. We're pretty much just uploading Mexican Crossing Line videos. However, we do have an Oscar Ramirez videos that put on a playlist because we've interviewed him 6 different times in the past couple of months. So we went ahead and did a playlist. He just started a YouTube channel. We're trying to support him and getting him followers and people that will tune into his YouTube. And, is Oscar El Blue, Ramirez. Go there. But when you're at kpppfm.com, also look at our podcasts. Or, it says podcasts are basically archived programs. You can go over to the program tab, click on that, and go to a Mexican Crossing Line. You can see all the shows we've done. We put audio format on them, and we, some you can just listen to it, and we also take some of that audio and we make them into airable programs here in the Fargo-Moorhead community, because ultimately we are a nonprofit, low-power FM station in Fargo, North Dakota, Moorhead, Minnesota. We broadcast through the metro area here, what we consider a metro area, for a number of miles, and we have the potential of 162,000 people listening to us every day. We run 24 hours a day, and we're a nonprofit organization. So we started this station. It took us years, and it's had a lot of support from some foundations and some community members, lots of community members, and a lot of viewers like you, because we decided to do Facebook Lives. And Facebook has given us an audience that's much broader than the audience we have here. But we do cater to the audience we have here because we are running a radio station. These shows are only part of what we do, and that's why we're so busy, because this is only part of our life. And I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy that we can go on these live streams, and then Cindy does these great shows. I usually don't know what the heck she's going to do. I just put the stuff together and start switching it, so I pretty much have the same reaction that you're going to have when you hear the information that comes out. And tonight looks like a doozy, and I don't know what's going to happen with this show tonight, so I appreciate you're here, and please support us, and thank you for supporting us. And again, we just really, really appreciate the people that give us the support, so thank you. Muchas gracias. Turn your mic on, sweetie.
Muchas gracias. I was sneezing over here, so I didn't want anyone to hear that, so I turned it off. But anyway, boy, my glasses are dirty. I don't think that made it better. Anyway, excuse me. So let's get to tonight's show. But first, I wanted to touch upon what we discussed on my last show. Remember, I gave you the introduction to the Caravan Support Network.
Oh, yeah.
Some of you said that the link to that page was broken and no longer available. It's under CSNA introductions, Nemo. I'm going to take out that other word. I'll be honest, I had originally labeled a-hole introductions, but it's really an anarchist playbook or introduction. I mean, it's the Caravan Support Network. It's the Caravan Support Network introductions. I have a link to that Facebook group where they all introduce themselves and they all tell people what they're going to do, how they like to do the violence. They even have a fight with the people that are admins of that page because they're told not to talk about criming in the open. They're told not to talk about things like that in that group because the rest of the people, see, they condone violence. They're A-okay with violence. But they don't want you to know that they are and that they openly condone it and that they use coded language to do it. They don't want you to know that. So Lilith Sinclair tells this person, hey, don't do that in here. You're going to get us in trouble. And they get into a fight about it. Mm-hmm. It's pretty interesting. Even I've screen captured the whole page, but even I haven't had a chance to go through and read every single. It's long. It's long. I recommend that you screen capture it, save it. It's like a little treasure map of, anarchists, activists, a bunch of people from Standing Rock, some of whom were involved in the crime against Kathleen Bennett. The woman's case that opened my eyes, that opened our eyes, that allowed us to see this vast network of
corruption.
Yes, but, these people are kind of like a moving circus. They're like a performing circus that goes from disaster to disaster, from, crisis to crisis, in this case, manufactured by them, funded by them, which is the caravans that we now see. They created the problem. They and only they can solve the problem. Don't let anyone else that knows about the problem way more than they do have anything even to say with what kind of solutions should be given to the problem. And these folks, you should really get to know them, especially if you are in law enforcement, are adjacent to people in law enforcement, in Border Patrol, in the FBI, people investigating the kidnapping of these children I've been reporting to you on from Agape Shelter in Tijuana, or people trying to investigate the international human smuggling / human trafficking that's going on right now. You should check it out. Really. Like, study it. So I wanted to start there. I wanted to mention today also, because as you know, I told you that amongst the groups that were in this thing that are supporting the Caravan, called the Caravan Support Network, which is currently called the Border Support Network. They keep changing their name, you see. Yeah. But criminals do that. Mm-hmm. They change the names constantly so you can't find them. So you can't locate them. I told you that one of the groups that went out, raised millions of dollars, was one of the people that paid the fake marshal that falsely accused Kathleen Bennett of abusing her mom. The case I investigated from Standing Rock that involved all of these people. I told you that they left a woman that it appears in the WikiLeaks of Barat's box. If you don't know who Barat is, he is the son-in-law of Recep Erdogan, the dictator of Turkey. Want to find out more about that? Go back and watch my show, Let's Talk Turkey, in which I expose the fact that Wesley Clark Jr., the guy that took the veterans out to the stand at Veterans Stand for Standing Rock, that raised over $2 million, that's connected to the Young Turks, TYT, which employs one of the people prominently featured in these caravans, Mark Lane of the Minority Humanitarian Foundation. Remember I told you that guy produces he's a content producer for the Young Turks. Okay, remember these are all Turks. And I told you they were all connected to each other. And I told you that they were involved in Standing Rock. And I told you that Sedef Bayaktaman and her dad appear in the WikiLeaks for Barat's box, connected directly to the son-in-law of Recep Erdogan. Guess who in a recent article, not recent article, this isn't a recent article. It was recent to me because I had not seen it. And the Israel, Islam, and End Times, I will be sharing a link with you. It is from April 6th. Wait, it's dated today? Okay, yes. The article is new. The information is oldish, but it's just surfaced. Okay. Published April 16, 2019, it says.
Yeah,
that's now.
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. It's called Photos of Surfaced Revealing 2017 Closed Door Meeting Between Representative Ilan Omar and Turkish President Recep Erdogan. Well, you could have blown me over with a feather when I saw that. Wait, what? One of the Justice Democrats that the Young Turks, Cenk Uygur, the group that he created, the Justice Democrats, helped elect, Ilan Omar, that one, she met with the dictator of Turkey that is connected also to Cenk and the Young Turks. And Sedef Bayaktaman and her daddy, Kaya Alep. Go watch that show. Let's Talk Turkey. You can find it all on kpppfm.com. I've already talked about these people, looked at these people, and told you how they're connected, how they got their feet in this situation, because they have fingers in lots and lots and lots of pies. Okay? I'm not going to read the whole article, but it starts off this way. There's a picture of Ilan Omar meeting with the Turkish president, Recep Erdogan, and it says conservative review reporter Jordan Schachtel recently came upon an interesting tidbit in the Tusmo Times, a publication that covers the Somali community in the Twin Cities, Minnesota area. He found a story there by the Somali language paper founder and editor Abdir Ahman Mukhtar about a closed-door meeting, quote-unquote, that took place in New York City in September of 2017 between visiting Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and then relatively unknown Minnesota State Representative named Ilan Omar. What? Omar, a Muslim immigrant from Somalia who won election to the U.S. House of Representatives in November 2018, reportedly led a delegation of Somalis from Minnesota to meet with Erdogan in New York. Erdogan was in town for the annual UN General Assembly meeting, and Omar flew to meet him at a local hotel in downtown New York City. So she made a special trip, Duke, to go meet with him.
Wow.
And then she even tweeted about the meeting in Somali. The only thing I can understand about this tweet, which is in Somali, is the name Recep Erdogan.
Yeah.
Tweeted on September 19, 2017, if you were looking for said tweet. What's most interesting about this meeting, however, aside from the fact that the president of Turkey agreed to meet with local Minnesota state legislator, is that it took place in the very same hotel where Erdogan, either just before or just after having his meeting with Omar, met with the top leadership of the U.S. Muslim Brotherhood. We keep running into these like terrorist connections with these folks and the Lindisar sewer people. This is obvious for the room, carpeting, and table and chairs arrangement here in Erdogan's picture, posing with Ilan Omar. You can see right there, carpeting. Look at it. It's like what would you call that? It looks like fake parquet carpet. It's made to look like it might be wood or tile or something. And then it's the walls there. When you look at the picture below that one, where he's meeting with the Muslim Brotherhood, it's the same carpeting. You see there?
Yep.
It's the same room. So in the second photo here with Erdogan are Nihad Awad, the executive director of the Council on American Islamic Relations, CAIR, CAIR. That's also connected to the New Sanctuary Coalition people, and loosely also connected to the well, not even that loosely connected to the San Diego Rapid Response Network that we're now looking at right now, folks. Now. Stay with me, okay? Stay with me. Stay with me. Get a snack if you need a snack. But we need to understand this together. So, Osama Abu Ishaid, who is the national director of American Muslims for Palestine, AMP is their initials. Mazen Mukhtar, the National Executive Director of the Muslim American Society, MAS, by its initials. Usama Jamal, the Secretary General of the U.S. Council on Muslim Organizations, USCMO, by its initials. The umbrella political organization of the U.S. Muslim Brotherhood. Whether Omar herself met with these Brotherhood figures in that room is not known, but it seems unlikely that she would not have. Now, it may be noted that it was not the first time that Omar and the Turkish regime connected. She traveled to Istanbul in early February 2017 to attend a conference organized by the local Turkish government and the British Embassy in Ankara, billed as human rights defenders, that included hardcore leftists and pro-abortion activists. I am so curious to remember when Cenk went to Istanbul.
Yeah.
Do you remember, Duke?
No, I don't remember the dates of that.
When did Cenk go to Istanbul? In 2017, he went to Istanbul too. Did he go to this? Did Cenk go there and he was there too?
Maybe.
Oh, he was there for 17 days.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yeah.
It was during the time that the witnesses in the Kathleen Bennett case and her son went to meet with Cenk Uyghur's staff, Anna Kasparian, to give information on all of the investigating that I had done in the case of Kathleen Bennett, that we together had done in the case of Kathleen Bennett, which the Young Turks never used.
No.
Never aired. Said they were going to help. All they did was collect information, just like their correspondent, Jordan Sheridan, before they had done. Same thing. I just have a question. I have questions because I'm connecting the dots to the same people that were involved together before. Why wouldn't they be involved then?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Same folks. Interesting. It is not known, however, whether Omar met with Erdogan or any of his senior officials on that trip. Not known for sure. What would be the unlikelihood that she would be there and not meet the guy if he was there?
Yeah.
Who knows? Okay, so there's more. There's more to the story. It's long. You should read it. It's important. It's important. But going on with the show because it's all important. According to the Border Patrol. One more thing. Somebody had asked me or I had asked, actually, from that room of introductions where all of the anarchists and stuff, what was Black Cross? What did it mean? Because one of the groups that was referenced in there in those little short resumes that people were giving was the Black Cross thing. And the anarchist Black Cross, I didn't know what it was. Somebody sent this to me and let me know. The Black Cross symbol represents the anarchist Black Cross, an organization that provides support for prisoners who've been imprisoned for struggling for freedom and liberty, according to the Anarchist Black Cross Federation. The Anarchist Black Cross provides these prisoners with political literature and legal support. They support prisoners who've committed crimes. This is the important part, folks. Listen up. That have committed crimes in the name of anarchist beliefs. The organization's main focus is eliminating all prisons. Unlike Amnesty International, which focuses on human rights, the Anarchist Black Cross supports those who strive to reach revolutionary goals that are sanctioned by organization, even if these activities are illegal. Duke, your thoughts on that?
Boy, I was wondering what that was too, and it's like that they're, working with prisoners, but then you go into the philosophy of the anarchists, which is pretty much anti-establishment,
Anti-government?
anti-government, anti-America, anti-peace. So it's like, people were mentioning it was more than one in that list. It was also aligning themselves with that. And I'm not up on my anarchist material in my anarchist history, although I've been around anarchists, a lot. That happens when you're doing community organizing. Usually have them joining your rallies and stuff, and you got to keep a watch on them because they're the ones that'll turn over newsstands, start stuff on fire, and break windows, and go against what the group has actually planned for their, exercising constitutional rights. So it's like I've always kept an eye on them. You can always tell who they are. They have their faces covered. Usually wearing black. A lot of times, very young people. But yeah, like I said, I'm not that much up on it, and this sounds to me as like on the very top surface, it looks like, oh, it's something kind of good. No, it's not anything good.
It's not anything good. It's anti-American. It's anti-government. It's anti-peace. All of the things he said.
Mm-hmm.
Every single thing. Also, I wanted to share with you that according to recent statistics, the Border Patrol in March alone, it was just in March, apprehended 92,607 people along the southwest border, including 53,000 family units, 33,000 plus traveled as single adults, and 8,975 crossed children crossed alone.
Wow.
That's almost 10,000 kids.
Jeez.
10,000 kids. That's one whole caravan by themselves of kids, of just kids. My mind is blown. What do you think about that? How does that even happen?
And it's so different than
That's in March. In March, honey.
And it's so different than the numbers of previous years. When you start doing the collective numbers, like 450,000 in one of the years in Obama's, and that's for a whole year. This is only a month. That's incredible. That's so many people, almost 100,000 families, basically. It's like, wow. It's like, I mean, this is going to break the economy of Mexico because they're dumping a lot of these people right in Mexico. This is making the priorities of the United States basically be traveled sideways over here with another issue that's costing lots of money. It's been so politicized. This is horrible. That's a horrible number of people. For an issue that has been not dealt with and hasn't had a good solution. And so the solutions that are going to come out of this they're all going to be punitive solutions. They're not going to be things that try to fix things. They're going to be things that try to stop things.
Do you have the video from the next article?
Was it on the script?
I think so. I mean, it says home countries advise free services. Do you have that video?
I don't have the video. No, I have the article.
Okay.
It was embedded inside of the...
It was embedded inside of there.
But you can't just get those.
You can go and check that out for yourself if you would like. And the audio, I believe, is in English. It's a YouTube video. And he talks about it talks about not only the fact that people are seeing advertisements in Central America in their home countries telling them that there are going to be free services and easy life if you come up here. I was watching Pueblo Sin Fronteras videos with you the other night. Remember we were watching that? Mm-hmm. They even had footage of people handing out money to all of the... We saw all of these videos.
Out in the crowd, exactly. And, this is part of the stuff that hasn't been revealed until recently, and it's stuff we suspected a long time ago because we heard pieces of it, but now there's video evidence, and it's this idea that they've been advertising falsely to people what they can expect when they get to the U.S. border and taking advantage of the UN pact that Mexico signed on to, and then also, taking the loophole once they get in the United States to claim asylum. But that wasn't their plan. Their plans was like, you don't need anything. We're going to pay for everything. You get food, housing, shelter, and you'll be able to go to the United States. Just hop on the bus, Gus. Make a little plan, Sam.
And you know what? it's kind of working out in their favor. And I have to say something. I know it's going to make a lot of Trump supporters mad at me. I don't care because it's still right. Trump tweeted that he was going to send all of these undocumented people, all these Central American caravan goers to states, cities, locations where, like he's saying California basically, where they have sanctuary cities. And I think that is rewarding the cons, rewarding these people who are the first and the only ones in line to get all of that money that Gavin Newsom is giving out like candy. Like $25 million, or wasn't it even more for the whole state?
I thought so, yeah.
It was over 30 million, wasn't it? It was even more than that. Go back and watch my show. I did a whole show about this. And I talked to you about how these groups, these liberal left groups connected to Antifa and connected to anarchy and these violent groups like Yvette Falarca's By Any Means Necessary, that are the ones that are in line to receive this money from the San Diego Rapid Response Network and other response networks. The governor has already set aside this money to go to respond quickly to this organized human smuggling circus. That is the caravans, because that is what it is. It is orchestrated. It is fake. And now I think it would be stupid for the president to send them exactly what they need to continue to claim that they have a right to a cut of this money. Come on. This is $1 billion business. So are the detention facilities in which these people are housed. And frankly, I think that it's going to be a big mess to clean up. It's going to take, like I said, at least a decade, because you've already got over 1.5 million people that have come into the country. To find them, I mean, now, Duke, they're running out of ankle bracelets. No joke, it's true. Now
well,
they're running.
Of course.
Now you can't even track people.
Yeah, and you know, they're not set up to bring in millions of people and expect them to show up for a court hearing. And when they know and they find out that they will not be granted asylum, you know, it's just not going to happen. And, you know, back in the, earlier 1900s, they had this Operation Wetback, where the United States government herded up after they brought in a lot of people to work from Mexico, and then herded people up and shipped them back to Mexico, including U.S. citizens and families, and just did a huge dragnet of pulling people off the streets, kind of like a Japanese internment, Is that what we're going to resort to? I mean, is that where this country is going to head, where they're just going to start taking people off the street, that you're going to be asked for your papers every corner you go to, that this whole right of privacy goes away? The idea behind sanctuary cities is that law enforcement that's not ICE is not supposed to try to see if you're a citizen or if you're a documented citizen, because it has nothing to do with the services you're getting or many times the crimes, if you're being accused of a crime. It's up to those government agencies, and the idea was that the federal government should do its job and the municipal government and state governments should do theirs. So for them to decide, well, we're just going to send everybody to the so-called sanctuary cities, it's like this punishment. We're going to punish you for being part of this, but that's not the problem. The problem's much deeper than that. And as Cindy said, this is creating a more long-term problem of a lot of people that are and they're not going to have
the whole country,
and they're not going to have a path to citizenship because they've already broken the law. And once you do that, you can qualify to be a citizen or a permanent resident. So it's screwing it up, and it's screwing it up for the people who are on that path right now. We've talked about that before quite a bit.
There's so many things wrong with all of it. Okay. Finally, I wanted to point out that the whole process, soup to nuts, transport, legal advice, if you can call it that, I think it's super unethical, probably illegal. I guess all of these investigations will eventually tell us. But as another one of many of the examples of this continued fraudulent behavior, there is a story that I'm going to share with you, newspunch.com, about how the migrant mother of a very, very important, a very well-known case. Y'all saw Javi with the little boy with Down syndrome with his mother. I showed you how Paola Mendoza was interviewing the same woman, how Mark Lane of Minority Humanitarian Foundation was hooked up with the same kid, taking this kid to write Lamborghinis, remember? Mm-hmm. And then I showed you how, all of these different groups and organizations, from Bertie Gutierrez to everyone else in between, had some contact with this family all along this big giant network of people, right?
Right.
Turns out this migrant mother says that Soros-funded groups forced her to storm the U.S. border. Remember how I told you that they kept the migrants there? Remember how I pointed out that this mother with her child with Down syndrome, when she was sick and couldn't take care of herself, when was crying in her tent because her child couldn't take care of himself, she was among the people that refused to go to the shelter with rooms and roofs, mm-hmm. that prioritized women and children like her inside, that prioritized women and children, period, for everything, that had the Marines giving them food, that had medical support, donations, everything. She was one of the people that refused to go there. She refused the help that she was getting in Mexico. And even above that, these were among the group of people that stormed the border. These were among the group of people that spoke, that lied about the federal authorities in Mexico, that lied about the Mexican people and the people of Tijuana and called them racist and xenophobic when they were merely trying to control what was happening in their city, keep their city safe. Crime erupted in their city. And it's already one of the most dangerous cities in the world. Not Mexico, not this continent, the world. I'll leave it there for you guys to read, so share that with them. And it says that, listen, Pueblos Sin Fronteras, a Soros-funded group, that's Pueblos Sin Fronteras, that's the Pueblos Sin Fronteras that I have been talking to you about, that is being investigated by Homeland Security. Remember, Alex Mensing is one of the people that I showed you in the show where I told you all of the people in one show. I went and I looked at the pages of many of the people who I thought were likely in that list. And sure enough, they couldn't help themselves without having been in the articles that listed some people that were interviewed, like Nicole Ramos of Otro, Lado, and other Caravan Support Network admins, Border Support Network admins. There were many, many others who had to raise their hand and go, I'm a criminal too. I'm being investigated by Homeland Security, and I think it's pretty cool. Because these people are nuts. They are. They're proud of their crime. They're super proud of it. Go read that whole group. Mm-hmm. They talk about that. I'm responsible for this crime. And then they're like, I'm responsible for this one.
Yeah.
Like, they love to brag about the things they do. By the way, go and screenshot that whole room. Go do it again and again and again. Because they're going to try to erase all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We got to move on. I have so much stuff. I can't go through this super important article that I just shared with you in newspunch.com, but you should read it. You should read the whole thing. Okay. Let's move on to Nicole Ramos, because this is a Nicole Ramos, I want you to know, who has been saying in a number of different ways on a number of her tweets and her Facebook posts that she is down to her last pair of shoes, that she is down to her last crust of bread, that she, on a rainy day, had to call an Uber after her car got towed, and someone yelled at her when she was doing a presentation in Baja California, Mexico. And she, and you know what really, really bums her out about all of this? What really bums her out is that people have started to see her as someone that is an exploiter, as someone that is a vulture, as someone that is capitalizing on this moment and sucking it dry, taking everything that she can, and calling it legal advising, calling it, oh wait, no, that would be against the law. She tried to say both things, though. She said she was legal advising, but she said she wasn't. She was just teaching people about their rights. Know your rights trainings. And she has been trying to protest away the notion that she is making any money. If she was making money, because people like me have shown you GoFundMe after GoFraudMe after GoFraudMe after GoFraudMe in her name, in the name of Otro Lado, to support her, fundraiser after fundraiser after fundraiser after event, like this one in New York City. I just recently found this was posted on her Facebook on July 1st, 2018, where she says, "Last night was a dream. Flown to New York City first class to speak at a Broadway benefit concert. The proceeds, which will benefit Al Otro Lado and other critical organizations fighting to protect the rights of asylum seekers at the U.S.-Mexico border. The past 2 years, I've been living poor, rocking the same 3 plaid shirts and sneakers, running around Tijuana, completamente despeinada." That means that with her hair like just looking all disheveled.
Okay.
"In my 19-year-old beater car, chasing down government misconduct like my life depended on it, and losing lots of sleep and bits of my peace of mind in the process. At times, the work has been maddening. It is without question always heartbreaking. At the same time, I've been living through my own personal trials, and some days it's been a struggle to put one foot in front of the other. But I did and I do, because our client's bravery in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds helps me find my own bravery inside of myself. The client's unbreakable spirit have always been the light in my darkest nights. I want to thank my family, my friends. Duke, where's my trophy?
Yes, that's right.
My borderland community for always supporting me, even during the times I was acting a little bit loca. For always believing in the work of Al Otro Lado, for your willingness to show up each and every time I called, and so to stand beside me, propping me up when I did not think I could keep standing. Thank you for walking this journey with me. We have so much road ahead of us, but I know that I am in good company. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And the award winner is...
I cannot wait to see the movie she's in. It's going to be spectacular. Spectacular. And she is not just aspiring actress, because that, ladies and gentlemen, was pure fantasy. And why? I started to ask myself, because I went through her Facebook page. This woman is constantly traveling. I've seen her in her bikini so much. I feel like maybe, there is some kind of a fascination she has with pools.
Okay.
But she spends an awful lot of time traveling, enjoying the ocean. Baja California, even just in the region of that area, is some of the most expensive land in Mexico. It would be like the Miami of Mexico, that area. Well, no, maybe Cancun would probably be, Quintana Roo would probably be the Miami of Mexico, but Baja California is the California of Mexico. Okay? Like everything is super expensive there. Not necessarily in Tijuana because it's a border city. But even so, let me tell you, Ensenada, Baja California, is gorgeous and full of Americans and super expensive. Super expensive. But they have great fish. Micheladas. Not a big fan of the beer, but the micheladas are, it's tight. And the ocean is just like gorgeous. The ocean is gorgeous there. The city is gorgeous. This Mexicali also. Same. Gorgeous. Lots of people that are very wealthy. Lots and lots of sun and beach and stuff to do there. So, I don't know why you would go to the trouble of portraying yourself like such a poor country bumpkin unless, the lady doth protest too much.
Yeah, I think so.
I think the lady doth protest too much because maybe she is making money hand over fist. And not just her, but the whole Al Otro Lado group. And she don't want you to know. And they don't want you to know what they're going to do with it and what they're going to use it for later. Just like the millions and millions and millions that were raised by several different groups like Fresh It and the Water Protector Legal Collective. All these legal groups. You wouldn't know anything about that, Nicole, would you, girl? Would you know anything about the Water Protector Legal Collective? People that raised all those millions of dollars? Would you know any of those people that were working with the Water Protector Legal Collective and the Fresh It that were raised for the Standing Rock stuff that got improperly used, that just disappeared? Millions and millions and millions between the Lakota Law Project, the Water Protector Legal Collective, the Red Owl Legal Collective, the Fresh It.
Yep.
You wouldn't know nothing about those people, do you? And what they did with all that money that they made disappear? Because she does want you to think she is poor as hell. How many of these activists whose daddy teaches at an Ivy League school, like Lalibi, Laura Christina Livingston Berger is her real name, that goes to Burning Man each and every year, doesn't miss it, never once. She wants you to believe she's poor and living out of her car. She's just a little old waif, living off of the kindness of strangers. Streetcar Named Desire. Oh, yeah. Anyway, let me just say, we don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't buy this act. I don't think you guys are that good actors to begin with, but that is for another conversation. Let me just tell you, this was in the Rolling Stone article, and I was horrified to learn that yet another group of celebrities, including Ara McDonald, who I really don't care about because I don't know, Idina Menzel and Andrew Rannells also were set to take part in this performance, to which she was flown first class. And that was Tina Fey. Saturday Night Live at Tina Fey. Tina, why?
Yeah.
Why are you raising money for people that are doing child smuggling and fake marriages and defrauding America? Why? But they did. They did it. And I'm like, oh, I'm looking at this, and it says that the concert was organized by a guy named Seth Rudetsky and James Wesley, and that it took place at New York's Cooper Union, was live streamed on Facebook Live, and Concerts for America. And I was like, what's that? What's Concerts for America? So I clicked on that thing, and it took me to this page that is Concerts for America, and it tells you what it is, and it says Concerts for America, and they had this event streamed with Tina Fey. You can go and check it out for yourself if you'd like to go see. But if you go to the right there, I think it has more at the bottom. Maybe there's some more writing. There we go, because it's got all these groups it benefits. Here's the beneficiaries, everybody. Let's read them off. We've got the ACLU, the Texas Civil Rights Project, Otro, Lado.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any others? Broadway, Equal. Cares for Equity Fights AIDS. It's generously sponsored by that group. Is there any others? No. Those are all of the other performers.
I see.
Oh, no, keep going up. Keep going up. I just wanted to make sure that there was no other groups that you missed on the right-hand side that are the beneficiaries.
No, they're all dead.
And it says right there, here it is, the Texas Civil Rights Project, the ACLU Foundation of Texas, Florence Project on the stage. Sorry. Al Otro Lado, Texas Civil Rights Project, the ACLU Foundation of Texas, and the Florence Project. Those are all of the ones right there. Those are all of the ones that were being benefited. So then I checked out this about page for the Concerts for America. That's where I found that. And you can see all of the other performers that were there. And I looked through the pictures, and I didn't see her in any of the pictures. So I don't know if she really did speak at this event. Maybe she did. Maybe she didn't. Maybe there are no pictures of it for some odd reason, because she likes to share all of those kinds of things on her Facebook. And she likes social media. But here's what she posted on her Twitter, okay? This is the stuff about the self-hating Mexicans I wanted you guys to look at. I want you to take a look at this and tell me your thoughts, okay? About what she means on this self-hating Mexicans.
Yeah, what is this?
So she says here, one question. Remember, I don't know for sure who she's talking about, but this is what she's saying about Mexicans. And here's what that defines them as self-hating, okay? She says, one question. This is at Luz en la Frontera. Candil de la calle. One question, it says. Well, a couple of questions, really. Do Mexican-American nationalists who both love Mexico and Trump hate us because we are informing all migrants of their rights in the system, or no? No, that doesn't really have anything to do with it. No. Forget about who likes Trump or voted for Trump or Trump supporter. Just because just saying MAGA hat and Trump is not a shield for violations of ethic, violations of international law, human smuggling, or any of the stuff that you are being investigated for, that you are accused of doing by a variety of different people and participating in, by creating fake marriages to be used for fake asylum claims, for fraudulent asylum claims. All of those things are the things that people are upset about. The fact that you are flooding our system in the United States, that you're trying to hit the system, our our legal system. You're trying to shut it down, and you're working with a bunch of USA government hating anarchists. That's a problem, because that means you're doing treason against your own country. Not a good look. Not a good look. So here, okay, she goes on to say, are they also angry that the largest group of asylum seekers with whom we work are Mexican asylum seekers fleeing regions besieged by violence? Let me stop there. And I don't know if you guys have been watching Oscar El Blue Ramirez's reports on what's happening at the southern border of Mexico in Chiapas. How the people there are being run out. How the poorest of poor people, the indigenous people of those areas, are being run out, thrown out of their own lands by force, with violence, by members of this illegal caravan in Mexico. And she has the nerve. You're literally organizing the caravans that are displacing the Mexicans that you are now patting yourself on the back for helping. Duke, help me.
Well, it is like such a bait and switch. I mean, the way she's presenting herself, especially when it comes to, she's so poor and she's having these huge fundraisers that are done by, nationally known movie stars, and producers, and the money be funneling into the organization. It's really hard for me to believe that she wouldn't draw some sort of salary or have some sort of finances that are linked to the organization, even her travel or food or office expenses and that sort of thing. And, who cares, about the car? A lot of people drive 19-year-old cars. I don't think I've had a new car in my whole lifetime. And, it's like I've never had a new car. I always made old cars work. So it's like her pity me stuff, I think it's just...
It's a show.
It's a bait and switch. It's like, don't focus on me because I'm nothing. I'm just this lonely good doer that's out there doing the good, because that's what the nonprofits have done for years. They were established in 1954 to be a benefit for the community. And so they're trying to milk it now, and they become huge industrial organizations that are multi-million-dollar organizations like the PGA. You watch the Masters if you're a golfer. They're a nonprofit organization. Figure that one out.
I love the things that you comment on, Duke. Really, seriously, you're such an intelligent person.
Yeah, I don't watch golf, but anyways.
I know, but you still know about everything.
Oh, yeah.
I think your camera froze.
Oh.
Try it. See what happened?
Yeah, it's totally frozen.
But you still look cute, I think. I think you still look cute.
Then I go away. I come back.
I think that it's great when people can see you moving. There you go.
There I'm moving.
There he is. There he is. Anyway, so guys, Nicole Ramos goes on, and then she says, so I'm the one helping the Mexicans. How do you guys feel about that? Because that would be kind of a self-hating thing to do. Hating on the people who help your fellow citizens find safety. And then she says, because Mexican citizens fleeing persecution also have a right to seek asylum. Óyeme. Sorry. I'm about to say bad words.
Oh, don't do that.
Óyeme. Semejante sinvergüenza. Los mexicanos nunca nos han dado asilo político. What the F are you talking about? Mexicans have not been getting asylum. If ever, in very, very small quantities. The majority of the people that have gotten asylum have only been from Central America. How can somebody that claims to be doing this work not know these simple facts about the history of asylum? That am only a paralegal and never claim to have the competency that she does in this very, very difficult line of work, doesn't even know that? I'm like floored by this revelation. Okay, then she says, or is the love of MAGA so great? There it comes again. There it is again. I didn't vote for Trump. I could barely stand to listen to him because I feel like he puts me to sleep. He puts me to sleep. It's like he dumbs everything down. And maybe people like that about that, you know, very simple man of the people type of entertainer kind of president. Have at it. I don't. I'm within my right, but I am not a traitor to my country. I'm not going to violate the law and exploit people for personal gain like these anarchist connected activist lawyers are doing. Nope, not going to do that because, you know, I like my freedom and also I like my country the way it is. Thank you very much. We don't need the economic depression you are going to bring to our door. We don't need the animus that is being caused by you and your activist friends in Mexico, in the United States, how it's damaging relationships internationally. None of it. And that doesn't make me a self-hating Mexican. Besides, I am a Mexican American. Thank you very much. And she says, and I don't even know if she's talking about me. I'm not taking it personally because I don't know if she's talking about me, but I know she has talked about me and she has talked about anyone that brings up the things, the very flawed arguments and the things that she is doing and why those things are illegal. And why what she is doing is betraying her country. And because she is bringing people and enticing people to come here and even faking documentation and information in order to do it, to file false asylum claims with our government over and over and over and over again, that is akin to working with a group of people to put like a coup on your country, to attack the government, to attack the justice system, and to try to shut it down. And you know that you and Pueblo Sin Fronteras had the goal of doing just that. Just that. There's evidence of it. The fact that you know that makes you an accomplice to these domestic terrorists that are creating this horrible situation for the United States. Yes, I said that. I said that because the things that these people in just that group alone admit to doing in this country, the crimes that they admit to committing, makes them a group of dangerous people involving themselves in what to me appears to be terroristic activities with political ends. Isn't that what it means to do terrorism? On behalf of your political ends in someone's country? I think it's the same in Mexico too. She goes on. And she says, also, why so late to the party, nationalists? Otro Lado has been providing legal orientation in Tijuana to Mexico deportees and migrants seeking asylum in the U.S. since 2011. Did you hear that part? Mexican deportees. You can say that all you want. I didn't see you going over to where the Mexican deportees were and making sure that they had donations and food and support from Bridges of Love across borders, night and day and night tents, medical, all the things you're providing, legal clinics at El Clave Caracol, housing. You did none of that. None. Medicines, doctors, all the different things you've been collecting for. You haven't been giving that to Mexicans. Shut the front door. You are lying. There is, prove it. I want to see receipts. I want to see pictures. I want to see all the stuff. Prove it. Because I know you can't. Because they may have, probably by accident, by the way, given legal advice to a group of brown people they might have thought were Central Americans who are much more likely and have always been much more likely to get asylum because of the wars taking place in Central America, because that's usually the only time refugees and asylum seekers happen. By the way, There's no war in Central America. Last time I checked.
Yeah.
I know. I get upset, and I shouldn't be going over this in such great detail because it's taking too long. And I just want you to know, I think I made my point. And all she does is just keep saying MAGA and Trump lovers and blah, 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 blah. It's a stupid argument. It's a stupid argument, especially for someone like me. For you to say it to someone like me, I didn't vote for the man. I could barely, like I said, I can barely stand listening to him. I'm still not gonna hurt my own country. Why wouldn't I want to have a stable economy in my own country, pendeja? How are we supposed to take care of the people that we have in our own community that are already undocumented? 20 million, maybe more. How are we supposed to find a pathway to citizens for people that have been here for so long, that for sure deserve a shot before any of the folks that you're bringing in here right now? I could go on and on. I've already talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me angry that if you're not willing to break the law and you're not willing to do the things and work with the people that she's working with, you're a self-loathing or self-hating Mexican American. I disagree. But here's the kinds of things they're doing. And in this article, talking about how people are being aided, or what the law is about aiding someone into this country. I will just share this with you. I know she's heard this from a lot of people. The reason is because it's what you're doing. And it says, this is 8 U.S. Code Section 1324, which says, for a recitation of the applicable federal law that deals with those who would knowingly aid in allowing illegal immigrants to enter the United States, it says, go to this link. I will mention the pertinent part as concerns this article. It says, any person who, knowing that a person is an alien, brings to or attempts to bring to the United States in any manner whatsoever such person at a place other than a designated port of entry or place other than as designated by the commissioner, regardless of whether such alien has received prior official authorization to come, to enter, or to reside in the United States, and regardless of any future official action which may be taken with respect to such alien. I think that they might fit that description.
Yeah, I think so.
And right after that, in this article from redstate.com, it says that in the case of these organized caravans from Central America making their way to our southern border, this should be an open and shut case because the organizers are knowingly bringing illegal aliens in America are known, and they have no secrets, make no secrets of their efforts. They are pueblos sin fronteras. And then it goes into all of the groups that are connected to them. You can go and check that out for yourself. I think it's very important for people to rip the mask off of this and this lady, this organization, and all of the people that they are working with. Here's another person I just found. Her name is Angeline Chen. I'll tell you more about what she is connected to in a minute. Here's a video where she's getting ready to give another recognition, an award to Nicole Ramos. And here's that video.
Hello, I'm Angeline Chen, the president of the board of directors of the YWCA Pasadena Foothill Valley chapter. I would like to invite you to our 16th annual Women for Racial Justice Award Breakfast on October 22nd at 8 a.m. in the Pasadena Hilton. I am super excited to see that El Otro Lado will be receiving an award for being a champion in racial justice. They are a legal services organization that provides assistance to refugees in Tijuana and Los Angeles and helps reunite families who were separated at the border. I hope to see you all there. Our tickets start at $100, our tables are $1,000, and sponsorships are at levels of $2,500 and above. Would love to see some sponsorships. Thank you.
So
Wow.
I thought, wait a minute. She's not just a part of the YWCA chapter that's decided to give Nicole Ramos a award. She's part of a foundation, an organization that works directly with Nicole Ramos and a bunch of these other people. Remember how I told you that they make their own news stories?
Mm-hmm.
They get a reporter that they work with to write the story. They get a person at the shelters they run in Mexico to write letters about how people's lives are in danger. They get people from foundations and organizations to give them awards so that they can run around and say, I'm getting another award. We're an award-winning blah, blah, blah. This is how it's done, folks. Pay attention. Sleight of hand about to happen. Here is Suu Kyi Rise to Reunite. Here it is. Suu Kyi. Duke, I have to tell you something hilarious.
Yeah.
Suu Kyi.
Yes.
Someone asked me in Spanish, what's this? What is it? And I said, su chingada madre. I said, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Because it's Suchi, and that's, you'd have to speak Spanish.
Yeah. That's
And it's a bad word.
it's a bad word.
Anyway, it's Suchi Organization, Foundation, and Rise to Reunite. What is that? Well, here's the Suchi Foundation. What? It's a Chinese-based organization?
Mm-hmm.
Suchi Foundation, which is in Tijuana, California. Would you read that? What does it say there? What does it say they do? Who do they work directly with?
We formed a new partnership with Rise to Unite and Otro Lado to help immigrants in U.S. and Mexico.
Yes. Al Otro Lado. They're partners,
Yep.
Duke.
Mm-hmm.
That's who.
I can see that.
They're partners, Duke.
And also in Tijuana, and actor Alicia Hanna will be there to pitch in. We'll work together to give emotional comfort and relieve the suffering of those in the pursuit of a better life. Rise to unite, rise up together. Immigration, families
belong together. What is that? Let's stop for a minute. Pause, everyone. Families Belong Together is the organization of the actress and filmmaker Paola Mendoza.
Okay.
The one who, together with Mark Lane, have done media work, have supported. It's the same woman, Paola Mendoza, Families Belong Together, that was confronted in a film videotaped by Paloma that I showed you a clip of, where the lady, the tear gas lady with the two kids, the one that became famous in all the media, was talking about how this woman had an understanding to meet her in the United States, was encouraging her to cross into the United States illegally. Knew that she was crossing into the United States illegally and was encouraging her. I showed you that. So, they're working together. You see that little triad just made there?
Yeah.
You got Families Belong Together, Suchi Foundation, and Rise to Unite. Here is Rise to Unite and Al Otro Lado's poster. It's on the same poster, folks. It's the same T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are on the same T-shirt. Okay? Now, next one. You see they're on the red carpet. They're at a red carpet event, raising money. Which red carpet event was it? I don't know, folks, but you just heard the prices of the plates. $1,000 a plate.
Yep.
You just heard what they need is sponsors. Sponsorships are more expensive, I'm guessing, than a plate at the event.
Yep.
But she wants you to think that she's poor. She don't have no shoes. And then we have over here. So what we got? We got China in the house. We got Turkey in the house tonight.
Yep.
Right? Because I've showed you there's some connections here. So now let me take you here to the happy hour, the pop-up happy hour. There's Rise to Unite. Families belong together. Al Otro Lado.
Mm-hmm.
And who's going to be there? Well, there's Maya Jupiter, hip-hop artist. This was happening on September 4th, 2018. And then under that, there's some other guy named Aloe Black, singer and songwriter. And we also have Chris Gorman, actor of Insatiable. I know none of them. Because a lot of the people that they work with, and it says about us, Rise to Unite, Reunite is a volunteer group of immigration attorney moms and community members helping to reunite families at the border. And in this next one, you will see Angelina Chen. There she is. The lady you heard in the video letting everyone know, I'm going to give an award to this random person who really deserves an award for doing stuff that's good. YMCA style. Here she is holding the Rise to Reunite. Because that's part of the thing that she does. That's what she does.
Yep.
If you go all the way to the bottom, you'll see it was posted right on her page. It says, join our co-founder. She ain't just some member of this group. She's the co-founder. And she's also an immigration attorney, Angeline Chen. They're involved. They're working with Al Otro Lado. That's why you need to know about them. Then we have another poster, just so we're clear that it is Families Belong Together. You see the logo on the wall behind Miss Chen of Rise to Reunite. She is there at a presentation. Please show them that this came from her Facebook page. Please show them so they know that this is connected to her Facebook page. There is Families Belong Together, and it says Angeline Chen right there. Energy in the Room, Rise to Reunite, Al Otro Lado, and Paola Mendoza's organization, Families Belong Together. You see that, folks? You see them all together? All of them together? And then we have Rise to Reunite. Sorry. This is Ángeles Sin Fronteras awarding another award. Are you kidding? She got another award.
Oh, yeah.
Who gave her that award? Angels Without Borders. Angels Without Borders, the group of people that are working directly with Al Otro Lado. And remember that leaked list, people being investigated by Homeland Security and questioned at the border includes people from Angels Without Borders. It includes people from Al Otro Lado. It includes people from the Caravan Support Network, now known as the Border Support Network. It includes anarchists, Antifa. It includes, as Nicole Ramos told you, even includes the clergy. The clergy. And why does she want you to know that? Why does she want to make that important distinction? We'll get to that in a moment. Here's money that was raised for Nicole. Money that was raised for Nicole. We have it here. These women, who are they? Who are these women that were raising the money for Nicole? Let's look at their names. They're posted by Susan Church. They raised $400. You can see they're raising money for them right there, right? Mm-hmm. Courtney Snegroff, Heather Yuntz, Jonas Demasi, and Deidre Giblin. Mm-hmm. And then we have another fundraiser concert type of event, Schools for Chiapas, which was posted here next by Schools for Chiapas. And it says that they're having a concert. And there's a GoFundMe campaign, medical Kiko Sig Amp Dona Tanasi. And they're going to provide medical care for Juan Villa Poblano and El Águila Cochimi, which is Francisco Grado Villa, indigenous Cochimi delegates who were injured while traveling in this CIG Caravan with Marichuy in Baja California. And there's a bunch of people tagged. One of them is... Yeah, just leave it like that so I can look at all those tags. Just so everyone can behold the beautiful tags. There's a lot of names here. You got to watch it because I'm not going to read all of them because it's too many. But some that stick out that you should see. If you go all the way to the bottom there. Of course, there is Nicole Ramos. Do you see her? Nicole Ramos. Megafono Pueblo. Megafono del Pueblo is another one that sticks out to me. And I believe Shane Parmalee is on this post. Somewhere on this post. Shane Parmalee. The lady who together works with to support and messaging for Mark Lane, Minority Humanitarian Foundation. Okay? The one that's connected to the Turks, the Young Turks. In this next one, you've got Brujas at the Border, where she is very grateful to them for fundraising for her and putting out a really nice spread. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that she is talking about congressional hearings and how ICE is committing crimes. And she thinks that holding your government accountable is one of the most patriotic things that we as you... Yeah, but that's not what you're doing. No, breaking the law is not the same as holding your government accountable. Yeah, really. You're breaking the law. There's a pretty fancy looking cake. They had wine and beer. I'm not going to show you the spread that they had. They had little mini cheesecakes. They had a whole variety of it looked pretty fancy to me. And then here's just a picture of all of the brujas, and there's their names over there to the right. And here is the names of these ladies. And of course, it's got the tags there. Heather Yontz, Courtney Snegnoff, the people that I showed you in the other picture, basically, okay? Then you'll see here the YWCA
video
screenshot of the video that we just showed you with her. I want you to go to the post narrative there, and it says 16th Annual Women for Racial Justice Award Breakfast, the YWCA of Pasadena. She used the page of the YWCA of Pasadena to post this video because she runs it.
Yep. And
she's talking about their 16th Annual Women for Racial Justice Award Breakfast.
Okay.
That they're going to award al Otro Lado. Who else are they going to award? Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. It's important that you look at who works with who and what works with what. There's Nicole Ramos tagged in the post.
Yep.
And next, I'm going to show you in this post about the concert for those who are los concejales. Consejo means advice. Concejales means advisors. In other words, the lawyers. This is a concert for the lawyers. What the lawyers for who? Accidentados de la caravana. People who had an accident that were in this caravan. And it says Coach Me Medical Fundraiser right there. You can see they're charging money. And who's in the tags? Show me the screenshot. Look at all those tags. So many tags. In this one, we've got Mohammed El Nakib. What? Who posted this? Who posted this, Robert? Who posted this? Who posted this? I need to know. Peter Brown? I don't know who that is. It says this is going to happen at Enclave Caracol. Enclave Caracol. That we know is connected to Bertie Gutierrez and Nicole Ramos. That's their joint. That's where they do their workshops. That's where they hang out. That's where they hold their press meetings for Pueblos Sin Fronteras.
Yep.
Mohammed El Nakib is part of the San Diego Rapid Response Network, connected to Linda Sarsuara of the Women's March. Connected to Winnie Wong of the Bernie Sanders campaign. Okay, folks? Then, who else have you got? Nicole Ramos. She's right there, tagged in this. Shane Parmalee, that works with Mark Lane, that does all this campaigning and working in politics and government in San Diego, connected to all the people in the Rapid Response Network. That Shane Parmalee. How'd she end up on this? Interesting. Now, I noticed she also posted about this. Very interesting. Also very interesting. This was on her page. This is on Nicole Ramos's page because she's tagged, because it's part of the stuff that she's involved with. What is this video? Let's watch this video, Duke. It's about a guy who's a deported vet. Here you go.
Everybody waiting in line, todos que están esperando. Qué bueno que ya estamos llegando, ¿no?
Mi nombre es Alex Murillo. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran, veterano de los Estados Unidos, de la naval. Soy de Phoenix, Arizona. Ahorita me encuentro deportado a México. Estamos peleando, luchando para regresar a casa como veteranos de los Estados Unidos. Pensamos y creemos y sabemos que tenemos el derecho de estar en los Estados Unidos con nuestra familia. Yo soy veterano de Operation Desert Shield. Fui a Irak, a Abu Dhabi, Bahrein, Israel. Y no es justo para ninguno de nosotros que peleamos desde Vietnam, Afghanistan, Kosovo, Irak, Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Peleamos en todas esas batallas y ahora nos echan y no es justo. Queremos volver a casa. Yo tengo a mi familia, a mis hijos en the U.S. Es muy difícil vivir en un país, defender a un país y luego al fin encontrarte en otro país totalmente diferente que no conoces. Es muy difícil para nosotros, es un shock de cultura, es un shock a la mente y a las emociones. Muy feo ser deportado para cualquier persona, porque nosotros reconocemos que hay muchos.
Okay. So he's talking about how unfair it is that they're deported. And remember I told you that was part of the groups that were involved with this Caravan Support Network, the vets, especially the ones deported in Mexico. They were helping. They were helping these activists. They were helping Antifa. They were helping the deported vets. How can deported vets that want to be let back into the United States want to do so by stabbing the United States in the back?
Yeah, exactly.
How does that work, Duke? Your thoughts?
Well, you know, I would think it's actually treasonous. You know, that these vets, it's you know, it's a mirror image of what went on in Standing Rock. You know, these vets coming forward and they're going to help protect the people, make a human shield between law enforcement and the indigenous people fighting for their rights. It's just a different story and it's the same tactics, you know, and I think it's just you know, it's giving these vets under the guise of being vets that they can go be anarchists, you know, and it's just, I just think it's like kind of disgusting and it's really scary because look at how much damage they did at Standing Rock. Yeah. I mean, it's something that caused a lot of damage, a lot of people get hurt and a lot of money changes hands and there's a lot of people left out in the dark, boy.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted to show you that Alex Mensing post and the tags on that. Here is a post in which Nicole Ramos is tagged with Irineo Mujica, the leader of Pueblos Sin Fronteras, and Alex Mensing, another leader of Pueblos Sin Fronteras. Remember, Alex is in that list that's being investigated. I'm pretty sure so is Irineo. And then, of course, they even tag Pueblos Sin Fronteras, Centroamérica. And you can see that in the picture itself is a picture of Alex Mensing. So next we have Hugo Castro posting about the Via Crucis Migrante from 2017, folks.
Wow.
Pay attention because this is it goes back to something. And you got Irineo tagged and Pueblos Sin Fronteras tags and Alex Mensing tagged in the same post with Nicole Ramos. You see that? There's also Rodrigo Abeja. He's one of the people that was being investigated. It's in that list. Okay. He's one of them. There are others that showed up tonight in the posts that you're looking at and the tags that you're seeing. Hugo Padre Solalinde also met with Nicole Ramos. I can't imagine because Nicole Ramos must have misrepresented her close ties to Pueblos Sin Fronteras because El Padre Solalinde has denounced that group as unscrupulous. Had he only known what your role, what you're doing is, I don't know how he would have felt about being in general vicinity of someone that's now being investigated at this level. Could you read this one, honey bunny?
I'll try to get this together here. This was our Sunday afternoon chatting with Father Solalinde, one of Mexico's greatest human rights defenders, about the work of Otro, Lado at the U.S.-Mexico border, providing legal orientation to refugees about the asylum process and the realities of immigration detention, monitoring the human rights violations by CBP, and filing class action lawsuits against the U.S. government to demand its compliance with federal and international law because #migrant no es un delito.
Migrar no es un delito.
And #refugees always welcome.
Defrauding the U.S. government is still a crime.
Yeah.
So is human smuggling.
Exactly.
So is human smuggling. And if it's children, it's trafficking. Lots and lots of things you need to clarify here. Unaccompanied minors are, it's a very volatile situation. And a lot of the activists surrounding Al Otro Lado were involved in kidnapping children from the Agape shelter. That we know. That we have. And Nicole Ramos is also accused by more than one person. And there's plenty of evidence of the fact that they were marrying people with the advice that they use the documents from the fake marriages to get asylum, to request asylum. I've already shown you on at least 3 occasions how these folks are creating fraudulent documents to support claims, legal claims to asylum in the United States. And here is, did you already put that one up? Her post about these children seeking asylum. These are some of the kids that were staying in the street, that refused to go to the shelter at El Barretal, the government-run shelter, the government-controlled shelter. They stayed in the streets. They stayed in the streets where 2 of them were killed, where 2 of them were lured away by a prostitute who knew it was payday, who knew they had money, who thought they had money, offered them sex, took them to a strip club where her cohorts, her criminal cohorts were waiting, and they killed them. They killed 2 of them. 1 of them got away. Now, who's responsible for that, do you think? You want to blame the city? Just like you blame ICE, just like you blame President Trump for the crisis you're causing, the overloading of the shelters, the fact that people have to be separated so that they can check whether or not they're trafficking or smuggling children that don't belong to them. All of these things. You want to blame someone else for a situation you created, you controlled? Why, just look at the article I shared with you today of Javi's mom admitting that she was manipulated and required to go and storm the U.S.-Mexico border. Same as they were required to stay on the street so they could be close enough to storm the U.S.-Mexico border. Just like I told you. And who's responsible then? When those kids that stayed in one of the most dangerous parts of the city, on the orders of these groups and organizations that controlled them, got lured away and killed. Whose fault is it then? I ask. Because she wants you to think it's Trump.
Trump did that, huh?
Yeah. That's what look, these people do, create the chaos, and then go, MAGA! MAGA! Go ahead, Duke. Read that. Read that nonsense.
On the evening of December 4th, 2018, these boys tried to seek asylum at the Otay Mesa port of entry. They were met with a uniformed wall of dark blue, 7 U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers standing shoulder to shoulder in order to prevent unaccompanied children from stepping even a pinky toe into U.S. soil. Instead of accepting these children for processes as federal and international law require them to do, CBP contacted Mexican officials to return the children to their youth shelter. Because of this incident, we were forced to abruptly pause our accompaniment of unaccompanied children in the U.S. port of entry. We could not take the risk of more children being snatched from our arms, hauled away upon the call of the same CBP officers whose job it was to accept them. On December 15, 2018, 2 of the boys' friends were at the youth shelter. Unaccompanied children themselves were kidnapped, tortured, and brutally murdered in Tijuana. They were easy targets, Central American children traveling alone. For months, the boys languished at the shelter, traumatized by the loss of their friends, but most of all, anxious, wondering if they would be next. The next time it'll be Otro Lado, or the next time to meet their death in Tijuana. Today, the boys are on the other side of the borderline, having finally made it out of this city alive, not because of the actions of U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers, but in spite of them. This should never be the case. No unaccompanied minor child should ever need an attorney to seek asylum at a U.S. port of entry.
Yeah,
and then she has a picture of the kids. Yeah.
And there aren't free ones just hanging around waiting to give advice to somebody that never asked for it.
Yeah.
So, Ramos is posts on this list. You can see Mohammed in the tags. I wanted to just point out that this is Operation Secure Line San Diego Sector Foreign Relations Branch. This is about her Sentry Pass being revoked. This is about her posting that she is an enemy of the state, that she is involved in a radical act, that she is being investigated. And one of the people that liked this post is someone from the Rapid Response Network, Mohammed El Nakib. Someone connected to the clergy, as I showed you, that Caravan sanctuary group that were down there getting arrested, that was liked by Linda Sarsour. I told you he was connected to Linda Sarsour, that the Rapid Response Network was partially funded by her, the people in it, and the people connected to them, like Mark Lane's Humanitarian Foundation, Minority Humanitarian Foundation, and Bertie Gutierrez's Bridges of Love Across Borders. And here you can see him liking a post about her being investigated by Homeland Security. Yay! And, you know, I'm not going to belabor the point that this is all for show, that all of this, oh, woe is me, we have it so hard, no one understands us, this country is horrible, our country is horrible, our country is breaking the law, and I am Wonder Woman that is fixing the law. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. Usually you don't have people put on a watch list and investigated by the Department of Homeland Security unless you're doing something very, very wrong. And also, I don't think you only have 2 pairs of shoes. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I think that you're making that crap up. I think that you're trying to make us feel sorry for you because you're raking in money hand over fist. Estás lucrando sobre el sufrimiento de la caravana. You are financially exploiting the suffering of the people in this caravan that you helped to create.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she considers herself to be so poor, how she could afford to go to so many places. I won't even go through all the pictures I found, just like I didn't in all the other ones that I told you travel all over the world.
Yep.
But here's just a sample. Here's her resting at the Japanese house with a friend. They're in Japan. And then there's her going to the Gramercy Theater in New York. It sounded like she was listening to a concert of Natalie Lafourcade. Then here's her in Puerto Rico. And you can see this is posted by her friend. And it says there, en Luquillo. This one is from Thailand. They're talking about layer bread on the street, and you can see she's tagged in it. And of course, her friend posts it, and they're saying how 1,000-layer bread on the streets of Thailand. Here's a picture of that bread, and they're discussing the price of the bread. But she also went to Spain. There's pictures of her in Argentina. There's also pictures of her all over Mexico, Ensenada, Chiapas, San Felipe, Las Grutas. There's San Cristobal Palenque. So, yeah, I just don't buy your sad shoe story. I just don't buy it, or your sad car story. Because I've never been able to leave this continent, much less go all over the world like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so your sob story it's not adding up. And here she is trying to play off her, sob story once again. Take a listen. After catching a red-eye flight from the West Coast and drooling half asleep in the backseat of a taxi from the JFK airport, the mad in plaid red flannel of 2016 went to Columbia University to guest lecture its law students. Talk topics included unprecedented assault on the rule of law by federal law enforcement, who most days act like they were raised by Nazis. In an empathy deprivation chamber, the deep collaboration of two nation states against thousands of refugees in contravention of every human rights convention ever written. How do people in this country even listen to this stuff?
Yeah,
this was at Columbia Law School. She's wearing a flannel shirt. She's up at the podium. She's like, look how street I look in my flannel shirt. It's the only thing I wear.
That's right.
And tennis shoes because I'm poor and I don't have any other clothes. And I'm all despeinada and greñuda because I don't have a comb. And it's like, seriously, it's for show, guys. It's for show. Here is one of her posts on Amnesty International. And as you can see, she comments, there are incredible dedication. It says, Otro Lado succeeded in altering the course of these kids' lives forever. Scroll down, please. And keep going. Can you go all the way to the top? Okay, that's fine. Today, Amnesty International and Al Otro Lado succeeded in altering the course of these kids' lives forever. Thank you for your incredible work. Oh, Alex Scamardella is her mom. She's like, love you, Mom.
I see.
That's what it was. And in this next one, it's got her post about being confronted at the Universidad Autónoma de Baja California by one of the people that, was there to ask her questions about what she was saying. Yeah. Which tends to be a lot of nonsense and lies directed at the government of the United States and directed at the government of Mexico. And she was very upset and says, "Not today, Satan." Yeah. This is the one that I told you that she says that she had to take an Uber and
that's right. There's a car and flat tire.
There's a flat. No, her car got towed from outside the office.
Oh, and the
Uber got a flat tire. Yeah. Yes. Then a dog came by and peed on her leg. No, I'm just kidding. No. Then she's like, "Not today, Satan.
That's
Nothing
right.
will stop me from shouting the truth, even in a language in which I sometimes stumble." It's more than sometimes. Anyway, keep scrolling. Yeah. And then she says, keep going. Oh, maybe it's on the post itself. Can you show the picture?
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's too bad. That's not the right one. It's the one that you were, no, below. Below. Right there. Not today, Satan. Yes. It says forced displacement. Forced displacement. It's the furthest thing from the truth. Look, keep going down. There she is.
Oh, yeah.
That's the picture of her sitting at the table right after that. Well, that's where she sat before and after she spoke at that event. Nora's deportation. She's wearing Nora's deportation pants in this next one, and she says, "These are the pants that she was wearing when she got deported from Mexico. But what she wants you to see is that the threading is coming undone. Look how poor she is, wearing ripped pants." And this other one, she shows you boots that are so worn. The cobbler looked confused when she asked him if there was any way they could be saved, as if to say, "Lady, you've got to be kidding me." Yeah, he was just looking at you like, first of all, you are shameless for pretending that you don't have enough money to get yourself another pair of damn shoes. You're getting flown first class. Yeah. Oh, come on. I mean, did you give that to one of your dogs? That looks like one of her dogs chewed it up. Look at my shoes. Oh, I'm so poor. She does have dogs, by the way. I wanted to show you a picture of her dogs here in a minute, but I wanted to show you a picture of her mom first. Here's her mom, and her mother was teaching kids. Here's a picture. It's got a rainbow flag. Mom sitting underneath it, holding a dog. under the 8th grade. And then Nicole says about her mother. It's a blonde lady. Says, sometimes people ask about the origin of my endless well of determination. Well, you're looking at her 46 years of teaching kids that many refer to as at risk, when the real dangers that her students face in the tyranny of lower expectation simply because of the neighborhoods in which they live, but not her. She never expects less, never gives up, nor does not understand the word no, and never believes it cannot be done. That's her mama, and there's a hashtag underneath that said, Al Otro Lado Mamas. And guess who liked that post? Go ahead, go put that up there. Sure, guess who liked that post? Water Protector Legal Collective volunteer. The very same volunteer that appeared in a video with Myron Dewey of Digital Smoke Signals, calling me toxic, saying I'm a liar, and saying, remember, this is a woman that represents a law group, a group of lawyers that was speaking to a press organization about an ongoing case that no one had ever reached out to them at the Freshet, at the WPLC, and said anything about Kathleen Bennett. They lied. She lied. Jay Fuller lied. She lied to try to cover up for her organization and the lawyers she works with, apparently like Nicole Ramos, that she's friends with, like Nicole Ramos. Yeah. One of the very same people that got involved, that stuck her nose, or I should say her sharp lying tongue, into the case of Kathleen Bennett, liked the post of Nicole Ramos, another lawyers group that I have criticized. You think it's a coinky-dink? I don't.
Nope.
Other people that liked her posts, like this one about the Day of the Woman, in which Erica and Nora Phillips, her co-workers at Al Otro Lado, were liked by or reacted to the post, included Angeline Chen, the Rise to Reunite. Angeline Chen, whose video I just showed you, one of the women that gave her a prize, one of the people that helped raise funds for her, along with Families Belong Together, organization worked with by Paola Mendoza, who works closely with Mark Lane. Also on this post, it was liked by Jay Fuller as well, from the Water Protector Legal Collective, and Lolly B, who with Jake Lee worked directly with Bertie Gutierrez of Bridges of Love Across Borders. You see the circle? It's a complete circle. I completed the circle of life. And they're not, Jay Fuller didn't just happen upon, she just happened to work at the Standing Rock stuff. She happened to be one of the lawyers group that raised millions of dollars, like the ones I've been telling you about earlier in the program, that pocketed the money, didn't help deserving people like Kathleen Bennett. In fact, people in their groups helped incriminate Kathleen Bennett. People they were working with, like Christina Hollenbeck of the Nexus Group, that also works with these folks on the Caravan stuff, the Nexus Group. They are not just finding Nicole Ramos's post and liking it. They're friends. They know each other. Here's a post about Nicole Ramos's babies. They're her fur babies, meaning her dogs. I'll show you the picture of the dogs in a minute. Jay Fuller comments, "The babies!" And as you can see in the picture, she is laying on the couch with her dogs, her babies. How would Jay Fuller know those are her babies? Yeah. Why would she know to call them her babies? Because they know each other, because they're friends. Here is where one of those dogs, Emma, was born. Emma was born in the camp that sprung up around the Dakota Access Pipeline. Oh, man. Now she spends her afternoons napping in Tijuana on our office couch, surrounded by 3 to 4 meetings at any given time, clusters and dedicated spirits undertaking Herculean efforts to document the illegal actions of the U.S. government. The fight for human rights at the border has brought hearts from wide and far, like Emma's human mom. They arrived to bear witness to this crisis manufactured by the U.S. government, because their consciences will not allow them to be anywhere else. Puppy del Pueblo. You know who else
Doggies are welcome.
takes her service dog with her everywhere she goes ever since Standing Rock, where they got the dogs?
Lullaby.
Lullaby Heelan. Laura Christina Livingston-Berger, who also is a poor activist that doesn't have a home, even though her daddy teaches at Yale. Oh no! She traveled all over the world, but she lives like a bum in her car, doing good every day, wearing the same old shredded pieces of clothes.
Oh, yeah.
And they want you to believe it. They just want you to believe it. And a lot of people do. I don't know how they do, but somehow they do. And of course, I don't want you to forget Digital Smoke Signals shared Al Otro Lado stuff, because they were there from the get-go. They were there from the get-go. When the Caravan hit Mexico City, and all of a sudden, for a reason nobody can yet understand, other than the fact that this was all orchestrated by these people from the get-go, so that they had to go all the way to Tijuana, all of them, so that they could disrupt the legal system, so they could bottleneck one place, one border, so that they could disrupt the economy of Mexico and Tijuana especially. And that is suddenly go the longest trajectory from Mexico City to Tijuana. That decision, when it was made in Mexico City. And who was there? Digital Smoke Signals. He was there. Who else was there? We were listening to the recording. We were listening to the audio last night with the Perro Amarillo.
Yeah.
We were listening with the people that were standing up there, the activists that were telling people that they all had to go to Tijuana if you wanted the protection of the Caravan.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't want the protection of the Caravan, go your own route. But you're likely going to be killed.
Yeah.
If you want the protection of the Caravan, you have to stay with us. So in a way, the people that were promised not only housing, shelter, food, and travel, suddenly in Mexico were told, hey guys, you're captive now. If you want to go your way, you really can't, because you're screwed.
Yep.
Because you didn't bring anything but the clothes on your back, because we told you we were going to provide transport and food and all the good stuff. Hell, we're even providing the Caravan with drugs. You got you anything you want. Entertainment, anything, parties, whatever you want. And all of a sudden, they go, oh, you don't want to come the way that we are telling you to go? You don't want to do the things that we're telling you to do? Be gone. Exiled on your own. And they did it to a lot of people at Standing Rock. And they did it to a lot of people afterwards. And they're doing it to the people here in this Caravan now. These people don't give a rip. You think they give a rip about what happens to the people in the Caravan? Because they don't. They don't. All will prove itself in due course. All of it will be proven in due course. You ask the people that have been watching me for 3 or 4 years when I've been wrong. You know, my stats don't lie. And I just need to show you that these people hate America. And they're helping anarchists, foreign governments, disrupt our government. They're using violence. They're using these caravans as a weapon. That's terrorism, folks. Terrorism 101. Simple. Open and shut. Look at it. Look at this guy, Mark Lane, working with the Rapid Response Network. Look at these people, what they say. She says, asylum seekers, Nicole Ramos posts, asylum seekers, children peacefully seated on the soil, being refused entry by CBP officers in violation of federal and international law. We have been here for 3 hours in the cold and the children are crying. This is not America's best. Welcome refugee children with open arms, not with officers in riot gear. What are they supposed to wear? Clown suits? They're supposed to wear clown suits and blow bubbles at the people that try to get through our border? That throw rocks at them? Huh? She's ridiculous. And what does Mark Lane say? Huh? Our country sucks.
Yeah.
And in other posts of his, he says, I'm disgusted with our country too. Our country sucks. Well, they don't have much better to say about Mexico neither, even though they seem to enjoy the hell out of being there. But you want to spit on people. You want to spit on the good name of the police in Mexico, the federal police that were protecting the people, the very people that were spitting on them, the very people that were calling them names, biting them, assaulting them, shooting them, killing them. It's not fair. It's not fair what you've done in Mexico. It's not fair what you're doing to the United States. It's not fair. It's illegal. It's criminal. It's horrible. And let me tell you, folks, these people have a lot of power. They have a lot of power behind them. Here's Paola Garcia Khan. If you don't remember her, she's the one that connected to all of those people, including Angela Davis and Michelle Alexander and Linda Sarsour, all of who are on the board of these organizations connected to Code Pink. Code Pink. Watch the show, folks. Caravan connections to Code Pink. Nemo can share it in the comments of the show. We'll be sharing a lot of these shows with you as we go so you can have the educated background about how these groups are connected. Remember, recently I shared Francis Fisher and Jay Ponte doing a live stream together with Jody Evans, the founder of Code Pink. Mm-hmm. They all work together, folks. Code Pink is pro-BDS movement adjacent. So is Ilan Omar. All these Justice Democrats, these socialist Democrats associated with the Caravan Support Network have the same things in common. And another person, besides Nanette Barragan, closely affiliated to many of these activists in the Caravan Support Network, are did we show the picture here?
Trying to find it.
You're on it right now.
Okay.
Have you shown the picture? Because that's just the text of the thing.
No, I haven't.
Okay, we need to show that. Because it's got, it says, respeta a las niñas y mujeres. Respect women and children. Okay, so go back to the tags on this. Because I think it must be, oh yeah, go all the way to the bottom. La Pachamami. Remember I told you that La Pachamami is Paola Graciela Khan also? Mm-hmm. I showed you different of her profiles. And she works with who, Duke? Nicole Ramos says in her own words who Nicole or Paola Garcia Khan is and what she does.
Works with Otro Lado.
She works with Al Otro Lado. The woman who works directly with Code Pink. The woman, Paola Garcia Khan, who I showed you was one of the people in the WhatsApp chat connected to the kidnapping of these kids and the giving of drugs to the caravan and the fake marriages. Why, they're working directly with Al Otro Lado. More connections? Yes, please. Pramila, Representative Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, folks. She was out there. Look at her tweet. I was able to successfully assist 5 asylum seekers, 2 unaccompanied minors, 2 mothers and her children, and her 9-year-old child. How many members of Congress is this now, Duke? We've got
Jesus.
Wyden, Ron Wyden. We've got Senator Merkley. We've got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her hashtag Occupy ICE, abolish ICE. And then we've got Ilan Omar. Look at all the Justice Democrats.
Yeah, really.
And Representative Pramila Jayapal. I brought her up before. I showed you she was in the pictures with Winnie Wong. She works with the Bernie Sanders campaign people. Folks, let me show you who she did this with in San Diego, California on December 1st, on December 18th, on December 1st, 2018. It was none other than Al Otro Lado. Here is the second part of that tweet where she says, enormous thanks to the courageous and talented advocates at Al Otro Lado for everything they did today and everything they do every day.
Wow.
So how are all these members of Congress adjacent to the people, the very people being investigated by Homeland Security for human smuggling and trafficking? Hello? I don't understand it. And yes, they were getting people married. Here's a picture of them getting people married. We played the wedding march on a cell phone, and the groom sang ballad to his bride after the ceremony. The toddler's son looked on, confused, how his parents could be smiling and crying at the same time. She called him their miracle child. After many years of trying, he had finally arrived, and their arrival together as a family to the border, unharmed, itself a miracle. A volunteer ran to the corner to buy champagne, and as the sun set, we toasted their happiness. I'm just going to keep on going to the bottom. This is the important part. Many, many thanks to who? New Sanctuary Movement.
Wow.
New Sanctuary Movement. Who's connected to the New Sanctuary Movement? The clergy that got themselves arrested on the shores of Playas de Tijuana? Linda Sarsour. Linda Sarsour works with Bernie Sanders and Winnie Wong and Desiree Kane on Bernie Sanders campaigns. They're the PR people. They're the political people. And Mohammed al-Naqib. And Mohammed al-Naqib, who's connected to Mark Lane and Bertie Gutierrez. Here's Al Otro Lado marrying people at Enclave. Oh, this picture. You remember this pastor there? You remember these two pastors there? Do you recognize these two pastors in the clergy? Remember what I told you the other day about the clergy showing up and doing all these ceremonies and putting on the stuff and getting arrested? There is no way right now where you can have a search delayed inside of a shelter, inside of a hospital, inside of a school, inside of a church of any kind, any denomination in the United States when immigration enforcement is looking for undocumented people. It's happening everywhere. But it still makes people angry. It still makes people angry, blind angry. How dare you arrest someone from the clergy?
Yeah.
How dare you disrespect someone else's religion? We're very testing about that here in the United States, and they know it. And they know it. Because I know I had all sorts of people that showed up here. Some of them showed up at our house afterwards because they got out of jail and we went and picked them up. And it turns out a lot of those people had just become ordained ministers just not that long ago. Newly ordained ministers. No joke. A lot of these people came from denominations that are not from the countries of these people that are coming in the caravan. Methodist, Universalist, Unitarian, what have you. Not Catholic. Not Catholic. Not Catholic. And it's weird. And it's a little weird. It's a little weird. Especially when you have so many connections to Linda Sarsour. Linda Sarsour, we go right back to that BDS movement connected, Democratic Socialist of America connected ideologies and the support of terrorist groups. Because that's in there too. Meeting with dictators, hanging out with terrorist groups. And of course, I wanted to show you one final image. This is the New Sanctuary Coalition. This is all of them. Here they're talking about it. The picture. New Sanctuary Coalition. It says they're arriving to Tijuana every day. All these people. The New Sanctuary Coalition here you can see is marrying. They're marrying people. They're helping marry all of these people There's the lot of them. You just saw the two that are standing right there in the middle in the pictures of the couples getting married. They sign the certificates. Boom.
Yeah. Wow.
Got an asylum claim. Folks, that's the lesson for today. I hope you were able to connect all of that together. I hope you stayed. I hope that you shared this. It's an important education. And I will be bringing you much more on my next show here on A Mexican Crossing Lines with your hosts, Cindy Gomez-Schempp
And Duke Gomez-Schempp
on 88.1 FM KPPPLP Fargo Moorhead, where we are adding local color to your airwaves. Thanks and good night.